Who has a cell phone? Everyone, pretty much everyone, right? Well, that's a tool for social networking, and we're all social networkers. Every one of us. If you don't have a phone, then you at least have a Chabot email that you use to log into school and stuff. So that's social networking. That's an older type of social networking. So why am I talking about social networking? Well, my major is social media, so communications with the media option. And I love social media. I'm always on social media, like pretty much 7 days a week. And I'm always FaceTiming with my friends and family. But I always wondered, like, how did we get here? How did this all start? So I'm gonna take you through the evolution of the pinnacle moments of how social networking evolved. So social networking has developed how people connect with one another. It started with the first email system that looked like a computer, like the size of a refrigerator, and then now we come here and we have, it's just a piece of glass and it fits in our pocket perfectly. But what's in store for the future generations? Well, we don't know too much about that, but we know it's just going to get even better and faster and quicker. So let me take you to the past. Let's go back to World War II, the end of 1939. According to the Library of Congress, we were at war with Japan, Germany, and Italy, and we needed to make atomic bombs. So we needed a system for our scientists and our engineers to be able to communicate with one another. So the military created ARPANET, which is it was like an old computer system with a bunch of refrigerator computers, and they were able to share data with one another. So that was the first social networking system. And the way they started this was they used Stanford and UCLA, which those are the main two, but there's a handful of other universities that also helped the military start this network system up. But UCLA and Stanford were the main two schools working on this project. And then so after that, it was a success because you know how World War II we ended up winning. It was many casualties. But later on, in the end of the war, the military decided to let businesses and all the other universities share data with the ARPANET system. And keep in mind, this is not shared to the general public. This was not. Only if you were at a university or you worked and you were high up in the business. Not until 1972, Ray Tomlinson of BBN Technologies created the first ever emailing system. And this was also kept to a certain network of people. Later on in the 1990s, the first ever AOL and Hotmail and all the other old school email systems were brought out to the general public. But before that, like when the businesses and universities were using the networks, people would pay under the table. They'd be like, "Hey, let me use the internet this weekend for like $500," and they would allow them because they didn't want the general public to have it yet. As you know, email is super old now. It's like 1990s. But fast forward to the cellular devices. Who remembers the Blackberries? Did you guys have Blackberries when you were in 5th grade? Yeah. So we moved on to that, and then after the keyboards, it got boring. So we changed it up and we went to the touchscreen, and everyone was going crazy. But I remember when I had my first touchscreen phone, and then I lost it in a Wendy's. I was so mad. I was crying. But with the iPhone, after the iPhone came out, it was all hell broke loose. Now you can just video chat. I always video chat my friends. Who video chats their friends and family? Yeah. Same here. Well, pretty soon that technology is going to be old too. Like, that's crazy to think about. But like maybe when you're 60, or it probably won't even be in your lifetime, there'll be more advanced technologies for social networking. Some ideas of these future social networking ideas is from the movie Star Wars and Iron Man. Who's seen those movies? Do you remember the 3D hologram where Princess Leia comes out? Like that's a technology that we would possibly use. Or when Iron Man, he like throws this like electronic paper into the trash can. Even further down the line, there's a movie called Ready Player One, where it has these virtual glasses, and he like goes, his world's destroyed, and he goes into the virtual world because he doesn't have anywhere to go. It's like a place to escape. All in all, as you can see, our social networking has come a long way from the very first emailing system to our smartphones that have allowed us to stay connected. The evolution of social networking is just scratching the surface and for what is possible.